recent Gallup poll showed that immigration has been the top concern for Americans this year. Over the weekend, state Republican lawmakers decided to head to the border and assess the situation personally.
Cronkite News reporter Ghadiel Navarrete joined the legislatures and reports what the entourage witnessed.
It all started at a press conference last week when State Senator David Gowan said he planned to visit the border. I asked him when it would happen, and he responded, and I took him up on his reply. When are you having this, media day at the border planned?
So I'm having, when you want to.
Republican lawmakers toured a section of the southern border in Cochise County to get a glimpse of its current status. As we arrived, we were met with 30-foot high fencing that stretches both east and west. Senators David Gowan and Janae Shamp spoke with residents like John Ladd, a rancher who owns land next to the border, who said migrant crossings have become a growing issue in recent years, causing damages to the wall and his land.
They cut the ballard with a torch. When they knock out the concrete, they're grouted solid, they got rebar in them. And when they get it loose, well, they'll cut that angle iron, and this whole ballard will swing open to where a person can fit.
According to the data from U.S. Customs and Border Protection, there have been more than 250,000 total border encounters in the Tucson sector so far in fiscal year 2024. President Joe Biden signed an executive order that halted border wall building in 2021, and these materials laying next to the road were part of that project. Officials said the material cannot be moved since it is federal property. After spending the whole day out here at the border, we were actually able to speak with a county sheriff to get his thoughts on what is going on at the border.
We're doing everything that we can within our ability as a local agency to try to make the community safer, not only for ourselves, but for the rest of the state. This is the ground zero of what is going on throughout the rest of the county in the immigration issue.
Detective Cody Essery says the Sheriff's Department uses a network of cameras in order to patrol the border, known as the SABRE program, which has adjusted to fit the current needs.
As we've seen the change in trends, we're not seeing loads of marijuana come across, we're seeing a lot of people come across.
ASU professor Lisa Magana says the migration inflow is a humanitarian issue.
And these immigrants have an international right because they're refugees and asylees. They are fleeing some really horrible situations.
Magana believes the immigration issue can be used by politicians to sway voters.
You know, again, the narrative is so dehumanizing, and I think it's politicized.
There is still a long way to go before the migration issue is solved in the state. In the meantime, a wall will be in place between two nations, as some view it as good and others as wrong. There is still a long way to go before the migration issue is solved in the state. In the meantime, a wall will be in place between both nations, as some view it as good and others as wrong.